All pain comes from the same source. A fragmented view of reality creates wars, scarcity, disease, lack of prosperity, and broken relationships. These issues aren't isolated. They're all symptoms of one collective mistake. The belief that everything is separate, that the body is separate from the mind, that I am separate from others, that humans are separate from nature, that matter is separate from consciousness, that science is separate from spirituality. This illusion of separation was taught in school, reinforced by religion, and repeated by classical science. It's the true foundation of human suffering. For years, people lived under the paradigm of materialism, believing everything was fixed, predictable, measurable, and controllable. But that model can no longer stand on its own. It's an outdated idea that everything we see is just solid matter. This view became popular at the height of classical physics. Isaac Newton described the universe as a machine, like a clock obeying rigid and predictable laws for centuries. That vision worked. It built bridges, launched satellites, and created factories. But it also shaped the human mind. It taught us that everything could be separated, classified, measured, and labeled, that we were only spectators of reality, that all phenomena existed outside of us. But that structure began to crumble when scientists decided to look deeper. They explored the heart of matter, and they didn't find the solidity they expected. Instead, they found paradox, the unseen, consciousness itself. Every valuable idea in humanity goes through 3 stages of acceptance. First stage, the new idea is ridiculed. People dismiss it, laugh at it, or ignore it completely. It becomes something silly, a joke, or just ignored. This happens to all new and meaningful ideas. People laugh, make jokes. These days they make memes. Then comes the second stage. The idea starts to bother people. Anything that disturbs is fought against or canceled. Ridicule didn't work, so they try to fight it. Finally, the idea is accepted because it's true. It's based on truth and becomes the new prevailing paradigm. A new set of beliefs people use to navigate reality. That's what a paradigm is. Quantum mechanics today is between the second and third stages. This knowledge faced strong resistance in recent years, but it's being increasingly accepted and understood. At the very least, it's a more complete way to see reality. The old materialist model from classical physics also works. It's a safe way to perceive reality. When I look at a cup, I see it as solid, made of countless particles. I can pick it up and feel its shape, texture, temperature, and weight. I can easily describe it as a cup, even more so using vision. Just by looking at it, it's obvious it's a cup. But quantum mechanics is different. There's something beyond this cup. The cup is vibrating at a specific frequency. Even though it seems fixed and solid, at its core, it's vibrating. What my eyes see are waves of information coming from the cup. These waves pass through my retina and are decoded in my occipital cortex. That's the part of the brain responsible for vision. It's the same with temperature. Your skin senses it through touch and temperature receptors. These signals travel through your nerves to your brain. They're decoded as hot or cold. It's the same with colors and with smells. So back to the cup. If the cup is just a set of waves, then everything in reality is too. At the heart of matter, everything vibrates. Everything is made of vibration, and every vibration has its own frequency. That's why people talk about raising our vibration, because you, like everything else, have your own frequency. What we call reality is actually a vibrational field, a field of energy and information. This field carries information. What is that information? It's the unique characteristics of each thing. For example, this cup has its own information. This watch has different information. This piano has its own as well. We have our own information too. Our 5 senses are like antennas: touch, smell, taste, sight, and hearing. They capture these waves of energy and information. Our brains decode them into what we can see, touch, and smell. Do you understand? Now, imagine if you didn't have any of these 5 senses, but instead had 5 completely different ones. They would let you perceive reality in a totally different way. You agree the reality you'd perceive would also be different, right? It can be hard for some people to think about or accept this, so it's easier to ignore the problem, to push reality aside and not question it. But according to quantum mechanics, reality is created by the observer. The observer determines the outcome of the experiment. And who is the observer? Anyone with consciousness. You have consciousness. I have consciousness. So we are observers. Some people will roll their eyes at this. That's okay. No problem. We need to respect different points of view. Everything evolves and moves forward. If what quantum mechanics suggests is true, that the observer collapses and creates reality into form, then it will eventually be proven and become the accepted paradigm, something people use daily without even questioning it. That's how new paradigms are formed. Every shift in paradigm creates conflict. Some will be against it, others will support it. Many people won't understand what I'm saying here, and that's okay. I suggest you go back to the start of this video. Watch it again and again. Just one detail. Quantum mechanics began with Max Planck, a German physicist, a little over 100 years ago. There's still so much to understand about the metaphysics behind these experiments. Today, this knowledge has become technology. The technology we use every day relies on quantum mechanics. But ancient spiritual traditions knew this for thousands of years. They didn't understand quantum physics itself, but they grasped the principle behind the metaphysics. As I mentioned at the start of this video, all human problems come from this illusion of separation. Do you understand that? This illusion that things are solid and separate. There is no separation. Everything is one. There is only one wave, and that wave is consciousness. It is the primacy of consciousness. There is only one consciousness encompassing everything. This consciousness decodes itself into energy and information, which can essentially be seen as the same thing. Energy and information. So this requires you to let go of the illusion of separation. Try this experiment for a while. Be the scientist of your own life. Let go of the illusion that everything is separate, that we are just isolated objects and people. Consider that what I'm saying might be true. Imagine that everything is one. Let today's video be the beginning of a new understanding of reality. That's what I wish for you. In 1982, a French physicist named Alain Aspect did something extraordinary. He conducted an experiment that challenged everything about separation in the universe. He and his team proved something incredible, that once subatomic particles were connected, they continued to communicate. even after being separated by great distances. This communication happened instantly. In the experiment, Aspect entangled two particles. He then separated them vastly. When he changed one, the other reacted at the exact same time. It was as if one particle instantly knew what happened to the other. This experiment is known for proving quantum entanglement. Two quantum particles intertwined with no space or time between them. It destroys the myth of separation, showing that, at its essence, there aren't two things. There is one single vibration expressed at 2 points in the field. This is exactly what spiritual traditions have always taught. Everything is interconnected. Everything communicates with everything else. Everything affects everything. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. As above, so below. As below, so above. Can you grasp the depth of this idea? Separation is just a belief, an illusion. It's an old narrative repeated, so often it feels real. But it was never truly real at the level of matter. Not at the quantum level. Everything is correlated. Every war, every scarcity, all suffering comes from this illusion. The illusion that there is an other, that there is an outside, something separate from me, something that can be attacked without it affecting me. This is the hidden foundation of all systems of oppression, of domination and destruction on the planet. But reality is different. At the deepest level of the universe, there is no other. We are all quantumly entangled. This understanding changes everything. It means there is only one single field of energy and information. The all, the unity. From that unity, everything else fragments, appearing as individual units. This happens so each fragment can have its own experience. But in truth, it's the whole experiencing itself. At the base of reality, there isn't just solid matter. What truly exists is energy and information. Each human is actually a vibrational field carrying data. More than that, the mind isn't just for thinking. It's both an emitter and a receiver, constantly sending and receiving frequencies, shaping how reality around it is organized. When someone holds certain thoughts, emotions, or beliefs, that emission directly impacts the field, and that impact comes back, not by chance or magic, but through resonance. The reality someone experiences responds to the frequency they maintain. For example, someone who constantly fears rejection, betrayal, or abandonment often ends up attracting relationships that confirm those fears. Or someone who believes they're not good enough. It's one of the most common beliefs. Even if they're talented, if they believe they're not enough, they emit a vibration of self-doubt. The field responds with opportunities that fall through, recognition that never comes, constant comparison with others, self-sabotage when it's time to act, avoiding what they know they should do. Just look at the results people get in life. You can easily see their belief system. It's a very practical matter of observation. You see someone's results and you see their beliefs. You realize how much the mind shapes reality. It's all about mindset. Look at great champions and study their mindset. It's a process of building empowering beliefs, overcoming challenges and developing ego defenses. Even if they don't do it consciously, you can see their system of empowering beliefs, beliefs that lead to success and achievement. They learned it from their parents or from life. One way or another, they learned to master their own mind, to create a supportive internal environment. If you put a plant in the dark and don't water it, what happens? It dies. It dies because there's no environment for it to grow. Everything that doesn't thrive eventually dies. The environment is crucial for creating reality, both your internal and external environment. A human's environment is shaped by their beliefs, how they communicate, the quality of their emotions, their thoughts, the words they speak, and the actions they take or avoid. All of this creates your internal environment. It shapes your personal vibration. Do you understand? Your personal vibration is simply the sum of your beliefs and emotions, how you communicate and act. Day by day, it's something you build. Understanding this is essential to creating a favorable reality. But there's also the external environment, which is basically what you allow inside. What you read, what you study, what you listen to, the places you go, the groups you're part of. All of this creates your external environment. It influences your process of creating reality through resonance. Good external influences help you build a powerful internal environment. This video was made with a lot of care, hoping it helps you reflect and understand these deep topics a little better. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If it spoke to you, please consider subscribing, leaving a like, and sharing your thoughts or suggestions for future videos in the comments. I read everything with a lot of care. Remember, we're all part of the same whole. See you on our next journey beyond the shadows.